She is the Filipino-American Cheryl Sandberg. She never forgets the Philippines and has even hosted 150 of her friends from all over the world when she and her husband Alex had their wedding here in Manila, followed by a few days in Boracay. She showed the beauty of the Philippines and the kindness of the Filipinos to her friends from North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. And gracious. Having read the article again yesterday, I realized that the things that were written there still hold true, like Claire's and Leonor's commitments to their passions and philanthropy, to their work and country. Except maybe they've achieved more and checked professional and personal goals off of their 5-year goals on their respective yellow pads. And that now, Claire has her own children to pass the notes of graciousness and gracefulness to, and Lenore has new preschoolers to teach, even on her retirement. I hear Carlos and Lisa are getting good in their art projects and science discoveries. I am happy that there is
for asking me to say a few words at this auspicious book launch. I myself have long dreamed of writing a book, something my children have been nagging me to do, but I have never gone beyond a few pages of reminiscences. I therefore congratulate
A pleasant Friday afternoon to everyone. It's both a privilege and an honor for me to join all of you today for the book launch of a colleague and friend, Clarie Lim Moore. I met Claire first when she was still in the US working for Citi, and I was visiting for a meeting.
Thank you so much to everyone, and very kind words from Ms. Kitty and Bea. But it means a lot to me also to have these strong women, strong Filipino women, be able to open up this evening. And so I thank them once again. And I'm also here looking at my Tita Elma, who is my late grandmother's sister. And she actually founded this school that's featured in the book that I couldn't help but talk about in the book. And so I just wanted to acknowledge as well. It's made such an impact on me. So, it really means a lot actually to be able to do this in the Philippines. Anyone who knows me for more than 2 hours knows how close the Philippines is to my heart. I can talk about how this is where my husband and I chose to have 150 of our friends from around the world fly in for our wedding, or how we had our daughter's baptism here, how we continue to come back because of the strong ties that my family has. But I could go on all night, so let me just say that I am very, very glad to be here and very grateful to all of you for your support. I've been talking about the book now since September. As Carissa mentioned, I launched it in New York. And the last couple of days, Carissa's been helping me with interviews and guesting and all these great ways to share the book. And so what's nice is that I do have a good sense of the questions people ask. So I thought I would share that with you. It's this opportunity to do so. So first, people want to know why I would write the book. Between my work at Citibank and my role as a mother and wife, daughter, and then they want to know when I wrote the book, and then they want to know what the book has to do with soap. So it's actually interesting to me being in the Philippines because the title of the book was one of the hooks, I guess, for many in New York who said, I have no idea what it could be about hygiene, you know. But the best part is that in the Philippines, everyone kind of knew and could relate. So that's been fun as well. So let me just start then by talking about the why. So I've actually always enjoyed writing, and I've long thought about writing tips about things I learned from my parents. And it ended up being, you know, I used my mother because she is the most vocal. My father might teach me the same lessons in other subtle ways. But yeah, so these lessons are obviously from both my parents. And at one point, I was thinking of writing a book while I was back in New York. I was single, living on my own, and I thought, you know, if I put down some of these tips my mom has for what to always having your pantry to be guest ready, that it is possible to have that balance. And people always say in New York that you can't have there are three things you can't have at the same time. You can't have a great job, a great apartment, and a great relationship at the same time. Impossible. But, I thought I could do that, so many things. But I didn't have the actual inspiration, or rather the discipline, to sit down and do it and make the time, because it does take time, until I had children of my own. So that's really the when. That was the most compelling part to me, being a mother and realizing that if I don't ever capture some of these things I've learned from my parents, I would be doing my children a disservice because I was so fortunate to have them. So I wanted to share that as well. And then in terms of, the title of the book, I think so many people are able to pick up what it alludes to, the hotel soap, etc. But it is still a funny story because, as we were growing up in Vancouver, it was a good life, but a very simple one. So we didn't travel very much. We were all new immigrants, and vacations were maybe a camping trip a couple hours away. We never stayed in hotels, always with family. But once I started traveling for work, especially with City, I was staying at hotels. And of course, the first thing I thought was, wow, very special. So, people in the Philippines would appreciate this. So I would put it in my bag, and then my mother was elated too. She could wrap it in this nice tissue paper and give it along with another pasalubong, and people would feel special and remembered. So I continued to do that, right, for a few years. And then fast forward to a point when I met my husband. I was living in Brazil, but they housed us in a Marriott executive apartment. And so this is a hotel that every day, I'm there for 6 months, so they can change the towels, the sheets, the soap every day. So when my mother came, she kind of said, okay, give me the soap. We'll put it in the qualifying box. And then at this point I said, oh, I don't do that anymore. I'm so busy and so used to it. And then it looked like, her heart really kind of sank. And I don't often feel like I disappoint my mother, but at that moment, I really felt like I did. And she kind of looked at me and said, not even once a week? So, so from that moment on, it was something I remembered, and it wasn't obviously just about toiletries. It was about thinking of others. It was about not taking things for granted. It was about thinking outside of myself in the larger community. And so that merited the title of the book and the messaging behind it. So, I won't keep us much longer from food and dinner, but I did want to thank everyone again for coming and all of the support I've had. I also, have to thank, of course, City, who's been, and I'm looking at Bay representing City, but, has given me, obviously, a lot of opportunities in my career, but also any kind of project I had in mind on the side. I had worked towards Citibank, sponsoring the Philippine Independence Day in New York, always looking for mutual beneficial partnerships. Who has been so supportive of this book, promoting it among employees. We had a special event yesterday among clients, and so that's been wonderful. And then I also do want to thank a few others. So we have this human heart nature. I don't know if many of you are familiar, but it's developed by the founders of Gawa and Kaluna. And they actually also shared some of their soap, which was produced by all natural products from the Philippines, very pro-Philippines. And then Aranaz also was another mother-daughter team here that I admire. And they're able to use Filipino artisan and craftsmanship to make beautiful handbags and accessories. They've been supportive as well. And then, of course, our food is spread from my Tita Lynn and Carte Blanche. And then all of my family really and friends. So thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed the book, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you for coming to the Philippines and Asia. And